Hello and welcome back to another episode of SunHaven. First things first, as the beginning of every day, 6:30 AM, let's get these, I think it's all wheat, right? And then there's just a few in that right hand side there, top right hand corner-ish, that aren't wheat. They're just random things that I need for collectibles, I believe. So let's get these watered and then we can see what we can get up to next. Okay, so that's all watered, which means we can leave it for another day. And what I'm going to do now is just do a bit of cleaning up. There's a lot of mess left over from the Weedle boss, which are all these dandelions. But a lot of these trees are just a bit of a spree of cleaning up, chopping some trees down, smashing some stones, etc, etc. Mostly to get my levels up. Because the quicker we get the levels up, the better abilities we get to aid us and make this process a lot easier. And to be honest, spending 20-30 minutes just grinding a specific thing like breaking stone or chopping wood or cleaning up, farming the weeds and stuff does actually help quite significantly and jumps up a lot quicker than you'd expect, actually. So let's just get this cleaned up and then we'll see what farming items specifically we need to do, if not some mining. There we go, quite a huge jump in levels, spending one whole day, about an hour in real life. Got to be about 40 levels or so, 50 levels. It certainly pays off. We're nowhere near capped, right? It goes up for a long time, but we're just clearing out our first snackoon there. So this one doesn't actually lock any new areas, it just unlocks a faster way to the west of the map. Specifically, you can see there the animal dealer, which we will get to. Also a nice field of wheat there, but you can actually harvest it, but if you do, you get shouted at, so I don't do it on this occasion. But yeah, you can see the animals there to the right. This is the bakery and the wheat field, and then going up here is just some exploration for the various different properties that are within this area. And it's a shortcut. You can get here anyway, but you have to go the long way around, which usually means you go to the east, up towards where you would go to the barracks, and then you have to go all the way west, and you'll come in on that path that you can see just there. So this just speeds it up, and it's also a plushie, it's a collectible. So there's quite a few of them to do actually moving forward, but we will get to them slowly. We can see there we get the little teddy bear, just trying to figure out where I want to put it for now. There's a lot more to do and a lot more of them to collect, so I'd like an actual area for it in the future, but for now, just dump it there along with the pet that we've got from the Weedle that we defeated. So for a good portion of the day, I'm going to move over to the mine again, because really it's a rinse and repeat exercise to get enough copper to get your weapons upgraded and your tools, and then your armor. And then, of course, once you've done that, you then need to go to the second layer, which is the iron, and then the adamite, I think it's called, and then you've got mithril, etc, etc. So you just need to keep doing this over and over again, remembering to make the actual keys as well. So you need to make the 10 copper keys, you need 10 iron keys, just to unlock it. And what I'm doing here actually is going straight through. You can see I'm not mining anything as such. Straight to the gate and using the actual copper key, which permanently unlocks. Now obviously this amount of copper so close would be silly for me to ignore, so I will collect that. But yeah, it's just a case of using up all of these keys. You can see I've got 2 left, so I will need a few more, but you need copper to make the keys, so that's why I'm not ignoring this that's so close. So that's it, up to level 10 cleared out. Most of the day gone, it's now 7:30 at night. Got a few resources, as you can see, a nice massive stack there of 65 copper, which will easily allow us to finish the keys off to skip the copper levels in the future, and also get some armor, which is quite important because again this is very combat based, a lot of this stuff, and I've built towards the combat side, so I do want to try and do the boss temple, the new area that we need to unlock, which is actually available on a Saturday, which it is, but I didn't realise at the time, and a Tuesday, so it has to be a Tuesday or a Saturday. So we'll get everything as normal that we're going to sell over to sell. I'm hoping that I then use all of this stuff and immediately put it into the furnace to get it cooking. And then as long as the crops are watered, we can sleep and see what a new day brings. So another day, Sunday, day 8, and we've got a lot of, well, we've got 15 actually, we haven't got that many because it's not cooked up quickly, but we've got some keys being made already. You can see up there 3 more keys are coming, so we'll make enough keys to do what we need to do, and then as I mentioned previously, we will build out the armor. Not making the gloves or the gauntlets because we already have those. We got them in a drop from a, I'm not sure if it was a chest or a mob, to be honest. Can't remember, but we already have them, so there's no point making them. Just got to wait for them to craft, and of course we need to water all of this all over again. So while they are smelting, we'll get the field watered. Okay, so that's all watered again for another day. Over to the crafting table, and we'll get all of these planks and then have a look what we can actually make here in terms of resources. So we can craft a cooking pot, so we'll craft that, and we can also craft an oven, so we'll craft that. They will give us some food. Now the food do give buffs as well as other foods like jams and honeys that are separate to that, but it will give us buffs, whether it be attack, mana, spell damage, mining speed, etc. So we'll have to look at what resource we actually can get before we establish which ones we want. What I like to do is have a look at what buff I want, and then work towards making sure I can either buy or grow, farm them resources, so that I've got a plan basically of what I want to do. Just checking, I've got another skill there now, hitting level 20 on farming, so we'll put that one in. Check here to get some more coal, because we do need coal for the iron coming up, which is the next stage, because obviously we've now passed the copper mine twice, and with the keys that we've got there we should have unlocked it mostly. I think I'm one short if I remember rightly, going back to that. As you can see, I'm just selling the rusty items, so the pickaxe and the watering can that are rusty, I've now upgraded them and replaced them with the copper variant, so the pickaxe will be faster and better, but also the watering can will hold more water and work faster. So getting the tile maker down, this is one of the tools that I love to use to make it look aesthetically pleasing, and that'll be the floor. For the flooring on this series, I'm going to go with that brick floor tile. So for all our paths, it'll be a brick tile, just to make it look, again, aesthetically pleasing is the idea. We'll get some fences in and some torches and things like that once we've got a structure, but again, it's still a bit too soon at the minute. Just getting some logs prepared to make a lot more planks, because there are a couple of buildings. I think the construction table is what I need, and for that I need a lot more planks. So I'll get them crafting, because they do take a while. So at this point, realizing actually you can break these larger things. They've changed it from when I previously played. So it used to be that you had to have a certain level, and I'm not sure if it's iron or adamite to be able to break the rock, and then the same for the axe to break the wood. You can do it with any tool now. The rocks, the heavy stone, and the hardwood all regenerate. They basically, as you're pickaxing them or as you're chopping them with an axe, they regenerate health, so you just have to out damage that. So as you can see, we are getting through these, it's just very slow. So I'm going to clear out the rest of these stones that are in my area of the field, and hopefully if I can do the wood as well, but I'm not sure if my axe is good enough. And then at least we'll see what it looks like when it's cleaner. As always, get a little bit sidetracked, so I saw that the cooker and the oven were complete, as well as some of these tiles. So going from this bridge, I'm going to take a strip out like so. The path will be too wide, so it will go down one more from there. But of course I've got a field in the way at the minute, so can't quite do that. I have gone over to this area, which I do change. I go up more to the right shortly, but at the minute I'm still trying to work it out and doing the math on it. And then we're of course going to go back to the mine to get another batch and hopefully try and get some iron, because iron is where we're needing next to get the better pickaxes and the axe. And I think watering kind of lightly as well. And then I'm not going to bother with the sword yet, or the hoe, because I'm not really doing much damage or much fighting, and when I do, I use a lot of spells as well, so that covers that off reasonably well. So back to the mine, into the mine, and we'll come back once I've gone through the mine, unless something really exciting happens, which is unlikely for the first sort of 10 levels or so. So we went to floor 10, and we've come out with the knowledge that we know we require 2 more keys. 1 to unlock permanently level 10, and then 1 to unlock the gate at the end of level 10, which is the gate that allows you to go to the second area for the iron mine as such. So we can go back to the farm, get 2 copper keys boshed out real quick, obviously collecting the wood planks here, and then some more of these tiles. But predominantly we're going to the anvil for that to make sure. And again, you can see though that's never going to work, because you can see there is a steps at the top that I'm going to force them to use. So we will kind of get to that, but again, I'm getting sidetracked. I think that is actually where I go up, but I'm not sure whether I want to do it a path that is 3 wide or 2 wide. Though all of the paths out of the map and all of the steps within the map are 3 wide, apart from the bridge, which is 2. So that's a little bit annoying, but there's not much we can do about it because they are fixed objects that can't be changed. Okay, so another day, and I just finished clearing out the last few items around the farm. So that tree stump that was in the way, and then another rock. So we can at least get now a decent sized rectangular area to plant and farm on when we're ready and have enough crops to do so. Also enough money to buy the seed. So going to sleep, we're going to of course need to water the crops again, and then look at what is next on our agenda. And that happens to be harvest. So a good portion here of wheat. This is wheat, right? Yep, wheat is ready. So let's get that harvested. That will give us a nice, huge boost in experience as well. And also, when we sell it, a decent boost in money as well, which is good. So let's get a few of these. There is 2, 4, 7. There's about 7 a day or 2 behind, and then some other crops. But we'll get to them. So obviously we need to get these watered, which takes a few seconds. There's no point rushing through or skipping that. Just get these watered. This new watering can is much better straight away. So moving forward, it'll be important to upgrade it probably once more. There is then the ability, and that is the construction table, I believe, finished. It is. But yeah, there is the ability to have some sort of like rain clouds to water in mass, or even some sprinklers potentially. On here, this is based just for building upgrades and buildings for your farm. So it is literal construction. So it's how you build your barns, your silos, your pig pens, your various things like that. Though you do need to purchase a permission slip type thing from the town hall, which is quite expensive, and that's gold expensive. With that and then the right resources, you can then build yourself the specific buildings where you like within your farmland. And that's where we'll need the floor better designed before I do that, because I'd like to have all the sort of farms or barns for the animals all like in a specific area, all nice and neat. And I'll probably grow a tree in the middle just to make it look pretty, but other than that, I'd like it to be together as opposed to sporadically around wherever it fits. So after coming in the museum for the first time, there is a large cutscene talking about the fact that we have a museum, but nothing actually in the museum. Then it becomes apparent that we are the people to resolve that. So you can see all these pedestals. Every single pedestal requires an item, and your job is to find all of them items and fill up the museum. For completing certain sets or partial sets will give you rewards. Most of them are rubbish. But there are some good ones in there, like you can get a full item of clothing from it, like an archaeologist type clothing that you can use as a mask to cover your armor. And then there's some reasonably good items, but again, it's all dependent on what you're actually collecting. It's not going to be a quick process. As you can see, there's a lot of gold items there, but it also covers all of the lands. You are currently only in the first realm. There are 2 or 3 others, depending on whether you're just doing farming or fishing, but there are up to 3 other areas where you can potentially collect specific items which have their own unique crops, their own unique animals, their own unique trees, wood, all the different things. So it's quite in depth, and it's not something that you'll finish super quick. And I'm not actually doing this run through as a complete it as quick as I can. I'm just doing it a nice run through just to enjoy the game and hopefully get some inspiration from you guys or inspire you guys to try it out as well, especially if you're a Stardew Valley fan, because to me this is that but with more. It's got more than Stardew Valley in my opinion. There's a lot of pedestals, as you can see. So after completing a couple of quests and handing in some quests, there is a few quests to collect the clams, but while I'm here, the beach is a good place to get a lot of forageables. You get some nice money from this. Some of it you can use for cooking as well, but also it gives you the experience and a decent amount actually from collecting these. And it's easy. You don't have to use your pickaxe or any tools. It doesn't matter what level you are. You just press E and you pick up the resources. You can go further left and right to get some easy mobs as well. I don't pick up the logs because for them you do need to use the axe, and it just slows me down. And it just gives wood, which I can get from trees, so it's not something that I'm bothered about. I'd rather chop down a tree and get multiple than just 1 wood at a time, unless I'm desperate or it's part of a quest. But collecting 5 clams was, so that quest is complete, and we'll take some fishing experience. I take the fishing experience after most quests where I can. Fishing or combat. Fishing because it's a much harder thing to get leveled up. I've got it up to level 20, but that's from experience from questing and then just fishing around close by. But I'm not a fan of fishing, though I might try and give it a go in this series because I really would like to do sort of self-sustained foods, and to do that you need specific resources. Most of it is fish or crab, I think, but fish is certainly the most common. I just need a better way of establishing where I want to go and when, and also the type of fish that can be fished up all year if that's possible, because if we can only fish up a type of fish in summer, for example, and we don't catch enough, then we've got the other 3 seasons of the year where we can't get that food and we'll have to do something else. And over to more cleanup of the dandelion sisters on the north. You can see all of the trees that I took down. I've ignored the stumps for now because they don't give as much resource and take longer than cutting down the first part of the tree by I think it's 1 or in some cases 2 hits, depending on your crits. But we'll carry on to clear this out, and it will give us a nice sort of area to build on, and this is likely where I'm going to be doing the animal, the barns, etc., because it's a nice big area I can get some squares on. Again, it's all dependent on whether and how I can afford to actually buy the permission slips or the building slips to do so, but it's always nice just to keep it clean as possible. And again, the dandelions won't come back to the bosses been defeated, and we won't need to worry about that again. Moving into another area now, but that's going to be on another episode. So at this point, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome. Subscribe for more. Take care. Goodbye.